Breathe, Villa fans, and breathe. Wow, that one was interesting. If it wasn't for the Bambi on ice, dare I say it, a Watkins 2.0 at times, Dominic Calvert-Lewin missing that chance at the end, Villa could have blown 3 points at Goodison Park. But it wasn't to be, as Everton 0, Aston Villa 1. This is my match reaction. Make sure you smash a like. Make sure you subscribe. And, of course, get in the comment section. Let me know your thoughts, Villa fans, Everton fans, neutral fans, on this game today. Because it wasn't pretty. It wasn't pretty. And the point is, it's another 3 points on the board for Unai Emery's men. And that's all I care about. Real talk, that's all I care about, those 3 points. And look, the way I described that, Ollie Watkins 2.0, yes, that might be harsh on Ollie Watkins. But at the end of the day, strikers are judged on their finishing ability. Ollie Watkins, I put it in the title, redemption. Missed a massive chance in the first half, as did Jacob Ramsey. But Watkins' redemption arc, a brilliant goal in the 51st minute, calmly slotted past Jordan Pickford. Again, people say Watkins isn't great at the ones where he's got to, take his time on them. He's better at the instinctive, quick ones. Well, that one definitely had to take his time on. Decided to go under the keeper with his left foot, Jordan Pickford, and it was a great finish. And that is a player who psychologically is a strong-minded player, by the way. To miss a chance like he did in the first half and to come back and go again, I rate it. I rate it highly. Look, on the other end, people will talk about John Duran tonight. Unused sub. Unai Emery, by the way, only using one sub tonight. Emi Buendia, very late on as well for Jacob Ramsey. Unai, obviously, cautious to use the bench. Everton away. There was something there where it was a tough, compact game. And he obviously didn't feel the need to roll the dice. And, the camera was on John Duran a little bit. He looked like he was itching and etching to get on. And are we going to see Unai Emery sort of say to John, look, you ain't going to get in straight away. I know you're a goal scorer. I know you've been our bagsman. I know you want to play. But that Newcastle game, he's just remembering what the impact of that was. And maybe he's going to force Duran to work his way in. But listen, a gritty performance for sure. We had a little bit of, lack of depth in the central mid area with no Ross Barkley, with no John McGinn. It was down to Kamara, Onana, and, of course, Tielemans to run that midfield. And I must say, Onana picking up an early yellow card was a worry for me, a real worry indeed, because a player like him against his old club, very easy to get carried away in the moment. And with Unai turning to his bench and seeing really there was not many central mid options, that's when you sort of got to ask yourself, how is Onana's temperament? And, well, could he have had a second yellow card? I don't think so. I think the Everton players made a hash of it. And credit to the referee. We don't say this often, but credit to the referee. He kept him on the pitch and decided to keep that, game even. And that made it a good spectacle. For me, key players today. Tyrone Mings. I always say this. On the ball, pants. Gave away the ball again, sloppy. And I felt he didn't actually use the Luka Dean sort of channel that I was looking for him. That's what I was looking for. That's what I was the one there where Luka Dean makes a run on the outside. I thought Mings missed that pass too many times. Pau Torres, for me, has that one in his locker, whereas Mings didn't. But what I tell you what Mings does do, my God, this guy lives for defending. Monster in the air, wins headers, wins every first and second ball. But not only that, he made some crucial blocks again. There was one late on in that second half where he gets in front of Calvert-Lewin and makes a huge block. This guy's everywhere. And in that sense, I think Ezri Konsa is growing with confidence playing alongside Tyrone Mings. I actually felt the back four did fairly well tonight. I thought we were a lot harder to beat. And the big stat is that is another clean sheet in the locker. 3 clean sheets now. And that's massive. What's also massive is that we turned around 5 losses in a row away from home in the Premier League. I didn't realise we were on that such bad of a run. 5 losses in a row away from home. Terrible. But we got a W on the board. And that's probably where our season has been lost this year, of why we're not quite in that top 4. Our season has been lost on the road. And today was a big game. David Moyes' first game back at Everton. You know that was going to be a tough encounter. And Everton made it tough. Everton made it tough. There's no doubt about it. But I want to say, Tyrone Mings, that was the first shout out. The second shout out then that I'm looking at is, of course, the one and only Kamara. I've talked about the fact that it was Tielemans, Kamara and Onana. Well, look, With Onana on a yellow card, Kamara had to be everywhere. Kamara's reading of the game, his positional sense, his blocks. And again, I'm going to say this. I think Kamara is actually getting better and better on the ball. I'm watching Kamara like to operate a little bit more on that right-hand side of the midfield, with Onana and Tielemans a bit more central. And I love that. I think Rodgers, when he gets the ball in the right areas, is deadly. The problem with Villa is we don't find him enough. We don't find Morgan Rodgers enough. And I keep saying that. Get this guy on the ball as much as possible. Jacob Ramsey, I talked about it at the start. His chance that he has to score that. He had that chance against West Ham where he hit the post in the FA Cup. And for me, he has to score from that distance against West Ham. And he's had a similar one again today. He is dragging his shots. He is dragging it. And there's no excuse not to hit the target there, if not score. And for me, Jacob Ramsey should have put us 1-0 up at half-time. But, yeah, Watkins, resilient, leads that line well, got his goal. But what I still love about Ollie and why it worked against Everton is that he had to run the channels. He had to be strong. He had to pull Everton out of their shape. And I think he did that well. And when the ball was fired into him, he still tried to link with Morgan Rodgers. And that is the combination that works for me. Morgan Rodgers and Ollie Watkins, they link well, they cook well, and that's what it's all about. But we have to be real as Villa fans. The way in which we're conducting ourselves this season is unbelievably strange. We're not playing well. We're not convincing. We're not a 90-minute team. And sometimes we're not even a 45-minute team. But yet we find ourselves in a crazy position in the table. And I do say this with genuine chest. Imagine when Villa start playing well. Imagine when Aston Villa start playing well. Because we are currently in 7th. And our goal difference stinks on -1. But we are 2 points off 5th place. Was in a title race, Chelsea. And we are 3 points off Newcastle United in 4th. We are very much in a top 4 race. We're very much in a top 4 race. And we have to now go and beat Arsenal. We have to. We have to get something at the Emirates. Even a draw I'll take. But we have to keep these points ticking and keep in touch of Chelsea and Newcastle. 100%. But I'll say it again. Imagine if Villa start clicking. We'd be in a different position. And I think that is testimony and credit to where we are as a football club. That we're not playing well. That we are patchy. But we're finding ways to win. And sometimes I say this, it doesn't have to be pretty. Just get the result done. It's a points business. And I think, that is the biggest taking point that I've got from all of this now, is that for me, every Villa game we play, as long as we're getting 3 points, I do not care about how the performance looks. The only qualm I'll say is, some of the better teams above us will punish us and kill us. But take nothing away. Going to Goodison Park isn't easy. Playing against a team where their new manager bounce isn't easy. We've had 2 new manager bounces on the row. Graham Potter for West Ham, tick, we beat them. David Moyes, Everton, tick, we beat them. Do never underestimate when you play a new manager bounce. Never underestimate that. And we got through that. So I'm really happy about that. Really happy about that. But overall, Villains, I think we deserve the win. The only, again, I say slight issue I've got is the way in which we defend so deep. 51 minutes we scored. After that, it felt like we were sitting to play on the counter, but not very well. And we got deeper and deeper. And Everton, with their height and the way Everton crossed the ball, there were threats. And as I said, if Bambi on ice took his chance, we'd be sat here fuming at points dropped at Goodison Park. But you need a bit of luck in football. You need a bit of fortune. And likewise, if Ramsey and Watkins took their chances in the first half, the game would be game, set, and match. So we move Emirates weekend. We owe Arsenal because of that first game of the season. We owe Arsenal. We should have beaten them at Villa Park. We didn't. We owe a big performance, a big result, and we need to have it. Make sure you get in the comment section and let me know your thoughts on today's game. I'd love to know your insights. If you agree with me, disagree with me, which points, anything else I've missed, any other individuals you want to shout out, get in the comments, smash up the likes, subscribe if you're new, notification bell on, all that good stuff. Up the bloody Villa. And up the Donnell Marlin, he'll be ready for Saturday. And hopefully he'll make a massive impact. I'm out of here. See you all later. Ta